All right, real quick, it's yours truly, Mr. Taliaferro. Before the video starts, it would mean the world to me if you follow me on Twitter, Instagram. That's how my business grows. At is Mr. Taliaferro on your screen right now. When you follow and subscribe to me, you become one of the pharaohs. That's how I talk business, and that's how you support a young hustler out here getting it. All right, Mr. Taliaferro TV, how's everybody doing? We need to have a real hip-hop conversation because I'm seeing some things that are just simply unfair. And you know what they're going to tell me in the comment section? They're going to say, you're always riding for OVO and CMG. I'm sorry, bruh. When it's time to do real stuff, I'm sorry that those camps, stuff that I know that's in the public domain and behind the scenes, I'm sorry that both of those camps tend to do real things or tend to do things that I would do if I were in situations. I'm sorry. It's just the facts. Yo, Drake is not getting the proper love from media personalities for the most part, in my opinion. Do y'all remember? And somebody brought up a fair point to me, and I'll say this as well. Do y'all remember when Meek Mill dissed Drake on Twitter? The narrative was, Drake, what you gonna do about this? And Drake dropped Charged Up out of nowhere in the middle of the night. A lot of people thought Drake wouldn't even respond. They thought he'd get on social media and say something, but not a record. He dropped Charged Up at 6 a.m. in the morning one morning, right? And then everybody was like, yo, Meek, where you at? Charged Up it's okay, it's cool. But that boy came back with bars, and you got to respect that. I think it was more of a respect thing with everybody. It was like, yo, at least he came back with bars. He could have came back with a tweet or an IG post. He came back with bars. I think people respected that. But then when Meek Mill dropped back, when Meek Mill didn't say anything, right? And Drake dropped back-to-back. And back-to-back is a hard all-time diss record, in my opinion, because Drake ain't really cursing him out. He made when Nicki be like, I'm going to make a hit record. Well, she don't be really making hit records and diss records. Drake actually made a hit record that could have been a part of his discography if he wanted to, meaning he just retired the record because he moved on in life. Back-to-back is hard. That whole Is That a World Tour, your girls tour, you got to remember that era. Meek Mill was going on the road with Nicki. They were on the road at that time. I think Nicki, Ray Sherman, Dej Loaf, and Meek Mill were on tour. And it was Nicki's tour, obviously. She was the headliner. Like, it was some timely bars that really opened Meek up. Pause. Like, yo, Drake got at Meek on back-to-back. And then Meek dropped that whack record. It was over. And then I think the thumbnail, like, them boys over at OVO are very meticulous when they do stuff and strategic. The thumbnail was like the Toronto Raptors beating the Philadelphia Phillies in baseball. Like everything, like it was just so meticulous. So I gave Drake mad credit for that because Meek can rap. I don't know how they dropped the ball there, but if you gonna get on Twitter and diss somebody, you got to be able to back that up with bars, not no soft Twitter stuff. And that's the one L I give Meek Mill. Now fast forward. That was hip hop to me what Drake did. Fast forward to this Pusha T situation, right? Pusha T, in my opinion, because people calling that Infrared hard, it wasn't hard to me. It was all right. It was a cool record. But Pusha T's jab at Drake was light. Because Drake gave him more bars on Two Birds, One Stone than Pusha gave him on the Infrared record. So it was a light little jab. Pusha did his thing. It's written like Nas but came from quitting. That was a cool jab. It meant something to Drake. It struck something with Drake. He was tired of the ghostwriting allegations. He's tired of people trying to attribute a lot of his success to a ghostwriter named Quinn Miller. And if a lyricist spoke on it, he was ready to respond. And not only was it a lyricist that Drake at one point respected, it's somebody that Drake doesn't currently like right now. They don't have the best of relationships, and it looks like Drake was boiling over with good music anyway. So he gave him bars. He came back with the Duppy freestyle, going at Pusha's neck. And I don't know if y'all really reading the bars, all the little double entendres and nuances. Duppy freestyle got some. And if Pusha was a hotter artist, we'd be talking about this beef like Meek Mill and Drake. Pusha's just not hot with the youth right now. I mean, he's like a 40-year-old or pretty much only rapping about drugs. And he's not the new generation likes the drug users. He's one of the people that was selling the drugs. So his music ain't hitting with the youth like it once did. We're in a different era of the drug abusers. not the dope dealers. I'm sorry, I'm giving Drake credit. Who's your favorite artist? You tell me how he would have responded. What he would have did if somebody would have dissed him on record. Most of them wouldn't have said anything at all. The few that would have said some of them, I'd say the bulk of that would have responded on Twitter and Instagram. Drake don't respond on no Twitter. He don't respond on Instagram. Drake's not going to do press. He ain't doing no interviews with Breakfast Club or Ebro. He ain't giving no exclusives to Ellen, bruh. Drake keeping it in the music. And you gotta respect that as a hip-hop fan. You cannot, I said this in a video the other day. You don't have to respect anything else about Drake. But you have to respect when it's time to go to war. Now, you could say Drake got writers on his team. I'm fine with that. Maybe he does have a writer or two helping him out. Hell, it looks like Meek exposed something. And that's pissed Drake off. Meek exposed something. I'm not saying Drake don't got writers. He might do got ghost writers over there. But we can't prove it. None of us are going to be in the studio with, you know what I mean? Like, we can't prove it. Say what you want about Drake, though. Him and whoever else is helping him right out of that OVO camp, they respond with bars. And yes, I'm aware. This could very well be the guilty thing, right? Remember when back in the day when you was a kid and you did something bad, like you had a piece of candy that you wasn't supposed to have, you ate something before dinner that you wasn't supposed to do, you broke something in the crib. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And you tried to lie it off real quick, or if the lie didn't work, you try to be great to mom and dad. Like you try to do a lot of positive ish to your moms to like kind of cover up for it, right? You go out of the way to clean the house or something like that, or to eat your vegetables and be at dinner 5 minutes early. Yes, I'm aware. This could be Drake guilty of ghostwriting that Meek accused him of, and tired of people rubbing it in his face that he has writers. This could be Drake saying, you know what? I do got writers, and I don't like when people talk about it. So every time somebody take a shot at me, and if I respect him as a lyricist, I'm gonna get at him with my writers. It could be that. Yeah, I ain't refuting that point, but we just don't know. And I have to give Drake his props because he does everything that if I was a hip hop artist, which I have no intentions to ever do, if I were a hip hop artist, I'd hope to have the mental fortitude to respond with bars. What does Drake do time and time after again? When you speak on his name, and don't get me wrong, it's pretty clever. Like he ain't just coming out saying F Pusha T, F Meek Mill. When he comes back with, he does a few things right. He comes back with witty bars. He comes back with double entendres. He brings your significant other in the picture. By the way, the reason why that's so clever, you can't tie a girl back to Drake. You can't. There's nobody you can tie back to. You could speak on a rumor, but then you look corny. And something Drake that does well that we don't give him a lot of credit for, they do their homework. They bring up situations you got with other people, right? Remember when Back to Back dropped and Drake was like something about in the car with A-Rap or I'm bumping A-Rap. Remember, in Philly, that sparked some beef or a little tension between Meek Mill and A-Rap for a few months, right? So I'm just saying, in this record, Drake talked about the Virgil and the Kanye West holding him back, and Kanye and Pusha holding him back over there at Good Music as he was developing fashion. And now Virgil has become his own guy and a well-respected fashion guy in the community with the Off-White brand, so I've been told. I know nothing about fashion, right? So you got to respect how Drake, he starts beef. And look what's happened over the weekend. Rhymefest went public with Tis Displeasure. If y'all haven't seen my video on that full story, check it out. It's about 20 minutes long. Rhymefest went public, airing out Kanye West for not doing the proper stuff with their Donda House nonprofit organization, right? Drake has been so great at discussing other stuff and making you have tension with your homies or somebody that you know, previous homie or something like that. He's the king at that. I just got to give this brother respect for always responding with bars no matter what. I'm sorry, man. Let's bring up probably the greatest rapper in this generation right now. I think Kendrick Lamar holds that title for a multitude of reasons. My favorite rapper is Big Sean, but Kendrick is the best right now in the game to me. Kendrick gonna ever like, he challenged everybody. I'll give him credit for that. On the Control record, he said, yo, Drake, J. Cole, and Wale, he said, I want to be the best. And none of them came back at him, to me, in my opinion, the way it should have been done at the time. And it looks like Drake ain't never want that Kendrick smoke, because I think it impacts too much, right? I just think it impacts too much. And unless Kendrick came out and said F Drake, I think they'll just sneak this if there is something for the rest of their careers. I don't think it'll ever be a thing with them. Unless one of the two came out, either found out something about one or the other doing something shifty behind the scenes, trying to keep him away from an award show or keeping him away from an award or an honor or something like that. I don't think those two would ever even get into something. But I'm sorry, Kendrick Lamar ain't never had a feud. I thought it was going to be him and Big Sean. I think that'll be great for hip-hop. I believe in my heart of hearts Kendrick and Big Sean have taken a little shots at each other behind the scene. I believe that would be great. Them two big dogs, top 5 rappers, pretty much in most spaces in hip-hop. We'll find out who really about their life. We'll find out quickly who about their life. And I think Kendrick needs to be in a battle at some point in his career. All the other hip-hop greats have done it. Every last one of them, including Drake. And that's why I got to give him credit. And if y'all don't think Pusha T deserves to be on the clock for something, I'm sorry, bro. Does he need to respond? Somebody made a good point to me that I was going to state earlier. Does Pusha T need to respond immediately after Drake diss? He doesn't have to. I would have rather him respond in the first 72 hours. I was told he would. He had something, but now I'm being told that there's a chance he might hold it back for Ye's album that's supposed to drop this Friday, right? Pusha had a busy week. He was promoting his album. He was doing like listening sessions and all that. And then, he's still the president of Good Music. He has other albums that are coming out pretty much every week for the next month, starting with Kanye's album supposedly about to drop this Friday. And then Kanye has another album dropping the next Friday with him and Kid Cudi. So again, I know Pusha's heavily involved in those music making processes, but and maybe Pusha gives Drake a bar or two on this new Ye album, which would make a lot of business sense, right? It'll make a lot of business sense to do that way. I don't know if he could even release a record individually at this point, because you take away from your man's steam. You don't want to take away from Ye's steam, or maybe he looks at it as if it helps. I think Pusha T has to respond to Drake. That is my opinion. Does he need to respond in the first 24, 48 hours? No. This is not the situation. Like Meek Mill, he went on Twitter talking, but he still needs to respond because he said he wanted to smoke. Charlamagne asked him straight up and down, do you want to smoke? He said, yes, I want to smoke. So thank y'all for the time. Let's play. I don't take it for granted. Yes, I think Pusha T needs to respond. You claim to be one of them all-timers? Respond. Even if you don't know if Drake wrote it or not, respond. Light him up. There's enough in the public domain about Drake to light him up. You can do your homework and your research. Y'all got mutual friends that'll be willing to give up some dirt on Drake. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now, you're turning up on MrTaliaferro.com, shawty. Yeah.